Capt. Stanford with Texas Fish Tips. This is your weekly fishing report.
Well, boys and girls, we've been catching a lot of fish out here at the end of these jetties. There's a couple of rock piles right down through here, this old municipal harbor. Working pretty good when it's real windy, and we've had some bad wind. A couple of days have been nice, not too bad. You get on the end of that south jetty, there's been some redfish, there's been Spanish mackerel, there's been lots of jack crevalle, sheep's head, a lot of slot reds, all on shrimp. We're using some cut mullet, some cut menhaden, but they're still liking that shrimp. We even caught grouper. We've caught red snapper out there. Just about everything you can think of. Get over that north side of that north jetty. Sometimes you can hide behind that rocks and get out of there. There's still some good fish out here if it's not too rough. If it gets too rough on the end of it, come back here a little ways. And right about that third sandbar right down through here, usually there's pretty good fish. But there's still some sheep's head, there's some redfish, there's trout. Just about everything. I've caught Spanish mackerel there the other day. I haven't seen any tarpon yet, but I know they got to be here pretty quick. All right, over here in front of Dagger Island, right down through here, if you throw some cut mullet or cut menhaden in those potholes, if it's not too muddy, there's some pretty good redfish right down through here. If you need to get out of that wind, get in here, there's a deeper hole right here. If you'll get up in next to those mangroves and throw you some cut bait in there, there's some good reds. We've had some oversized, we've had some 28s. We've had some undersized. If you throw live shrimp, you probably catch the undersized. But we've also had several nice trout over 20 inches. I had 3 the other day right here with cut menhaden on these potholes. And some of them was just barely under 23, and they were some nice ones. But anyways, in these little islands, these little spoils right down through here, if you don't catch something, move on about 20, 30 minutes, do it again. But there's redfish all down through here. Now, sometimes they don't want to bite, and sometimes they'll be there, but they're just not biting. Come back later, and you'll hit them again. Also, behind these mangroves, right down through here, behind Dagger Islands, holding some nice redfish. And try not to get too close to anybody else, and try not to run over their spots whenever they're fishing, please. Over here in good old California, this little deep area right down here has been holding some nice trout. Popping cork and shrimp will work. Sometimes good old white artificials, like say your down southers with a paddle tail, on a jig head works pretty good right down through here when it's real muddy. I like the white color myself. Right out here, and there's a little bird island right here, but there's a little reef right here we've been catching nice reds off of as well. This deeper channel holding some black drum already right down through here. You have to be careful, watch out with your depth finder, but you can pull up on this bank right here and throw out in that deeper water, and sometimes there'll be some good reds mixed in there, and they like the shrimp. But the drum like the shrimp, the reds like the cut mullet. Okay guys, if you've got a kayak and you don't have a boat and it's windy, you can get out here behind these T-heads, these rocks right down through here. There's been holding some nice drum. There's also some sheep's head. They all like that live shrimp. There's also a few nice trout down through, and every once in a while there's redfish. But you can also walk out on these rocks. It's a long walk, but there is some good fishing out here. And you can fish right towards the north. That south wind will push your line out. It's a really good area. But if you're in a boat, get out here on the outside if it's not too rough. And there's been some nice sheep's head. There's been some redfish and some trout right down through here. Live shrimp is the best way to go. Over on the back side of Berry Island, right down through here when that wind's cranking and it gets muddy, this is a nice clean patch. You can wade fish right in here. There's also some good fish up on this bank. There'll be some good trout, there'll be some redfish in there. You can also get in this little hole right in here, and there's been some good redfish all up on the bank either side of this cut right down through here. Cut mullet, cut menhaden's the best way to go. Right out here in front of this there's a red and white sign right here, and there's been some black drum hanging right there. They like shrimp. Anywhere's down this bank down through here, we're catching some nice redfish. It's a good place to get out of the wind when it gets blowing really bad. But any of the shoreline down there is holding some redfish. There'll be some trout mixed in. We're starting to see some ladyfish. If you use a popping cork and shrimp, you catch one, keep it on ice, save it, and then cut it up. And they like that nice bloody meat right down through here. If you can find it, you'll get you some redfish off of it.
Thanks for watching. I'm Capt. Stanford.